entertained? Are you not entertained?
Yes. Welcome back to 108 Dragons TV, baby. It's your host, Lemon23, aka Lemetheus, right hand of Zeus. And if you brand new to this channel, I would love if you like and subscribe. And I hope you people out there are entertained. And I am back with some more news and some more edumacation. Not education, edumacation. Because I got hit up one of my subscribers early this morning saying it was hard to agree with me about open world games being designed for 30 frames a second when he told me he could do 10. Well, no, excuse me. He never said a resolution, but he did say 60 frames per second. And I'm going to drop a little knowledge at the end of this video. Stay tuned for that. But first of all, we're going to jump into some news. Today is a good news if you are a Final Fantasy 15 player, because that multiplayer beta drops today on that PlayStation Store and that Xbox Live Store, baby. So if you're interested, go out there and cop that. Test it out. Jump on them servers. Play as long as possible so they can get a nice stress test. So when the game finally releases that multiplayer, you'll be having a chance to have a great server behind your back. Yes. Now, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has a new update the size of 5.3 gigabytes for much needed bug fixes and additional content. That's what I'm talking about. I cannot wait for this to release on console, Xbox One X in particular, because that game is on fire. Over 6.5 million sold, and is the most non-Valve played game on Steam. That is just truly amazing. Now, we all know NBA Live demo. You know, I brought that to you the other day, August 11th. Now, I'm a 2K guy, but I'm kind of tired of 2K and them bullshit ass servers. They bullshit. So I'm hoping Live is at least decent. But I got some new news for you today. EA dropped the hammer. First time in history, we will have WNBA teams to play in a single player game. Offline, not online, but offline. And it is a great addition to have those women basketball players to an NBA game, because them women are the top, best thing smoking underneath the rim. They get busy. It's going to be a lot of layups made 2017 into 18, baby, because they hit a lot of layups and jump shots, baby. You even got some women dunking. God damn. Now, you know I brought that hot fire news to you about that dynamic resolution, and I had to drop the ball and show everybody this is what dynamic resolution means. For people out there that was confused. Now your boy Lemon is bringing back some more historical facts, baby. Ubisoft has went into actual tombs in Egypt, and when you go to raid these tombs, they are actually designed after real life tombs. I think that shit is dope, man, because we all like Tomb Raider and we enjoy the tombs she be raiding. But you know what? Authenticity is hard to beat, baby. It's hard to beat. We definitely are looking forward to Assassin's Creed and that dynamic 4K. Yes. Now, Star Wars Battlefront has introduced a new trooper, and it's called Heavy Trooper Skins from the recent movie. And that new Star Wars Battlefront 2 will cover all the generations of Star Wars. I think that is greatly, greatly warranted. Darth Maul to Yoda. I want to see Obi-Wan, baby, because he got busy. And again, I have the upper ground on you, don't do it. That was my Obi-Wan impression. Now, backwards compatibility today. Our boy over there at Microsoft, Larry Hurd, has announced Epic Mickey 2 and Toe Jammin' Earl officially dropped today on that backwards compatibility. Microsoft is not forgetting about what they started, baby. That's what I'm talking about. And for you Super Nintendo fans who's looking forward to getting those pre-orders for that Super NES Classic, this should be dropping soon. And when it does, your boy Lemetius will put you on. Now, I'm going to go into, I was hit with today a comment that he was struggling with, wanting to believe me about open worlds being made, well, basically aimed at 30 frames. Now, if you're on PC is a little open-ended. It basically goes by the hardware you got. But this guy told me his PC is like 9 years old and he can run Grand Theft Auto at 60 frames. I never said that you couldn't run no open world game at 60 frames, but you damn sure can't do it with a low-end PC. You would have to turn off everything. So you be playing something that looks okay at 60 frames. You can run the 60 frames because I can play Street Fighter Cross Tekken. When I do the benchmarks on my PC, it's at 300 frames per second, usually at 299, which is overkill. But no TV does 299 frames per second. It's all 60 hertz. So what I'm saying is, when you have a PC and you can run a game at a certain frame rate, it's not just the frame rate. What do you have to turn on and off in those settings? And I ain't talking about high-end PC, because he told me he had a 960 graphic card, which is basically a 1080p card. Very reasonably priced. It's not no 980. It ain't no 980 Ti. And we up to 1080 and 1080 Ti's right now. So that card is really, it's a mid-range card, and it's almost 2.5 years old. Come on, man. And I'm not knocking your graphic card. That's a solid card. What I'm telling you is, what are your settings for the rest of the game to run Gran Turismo at 60 frames? You ain't running high textures. You ain't running nothing. I doubt you running anything above 1080p, because that's not an above 1080p card. But when I made that comment in that debate, it wasn't about low end or medium range. It's about high end and high fidelity graphics. So I was talking about 4K. But most open world games, console base, is based on 30 frames because of so many things happening. Now, that's just the facts. For people who have 1080 Ti's like myself and 32 gigabytes of G-Skill RAM running at each stick running at 3 gigahertz per second, and a i7 5930 right now, that CPU is still $700. That's just my CPU. What I'm saying is, I can run those games at 60 frames with high graphic fidelity. Not the minimum, not mid-range, not one thing high and everything else turned low. Ultra settings. But that's not real world PCs and rigs and gaming rigs. That's not real world. Real world is them 960s, like he said, at $200 and decent RAM. But if your system is 9 years old, you're not even running DDR4. You're running DDR3 if your computer's 9 years old, like you said. Because when I got my RAM, In 2015, 32 gigabytes of it, 16 gigs was like $600, and I have 32 of it. I'm just saying. But I'm glad you brought that to my attention, so I'm bringing it to the channel so other people can learn and say, damn, this dude knows what he's talking about. Because I've been building PCs, custom gaming rigs, for about 20 years plus. And I got another guru. Shout out to my boy Six Slayer, aka Antoine the Genius, baby. We're going to do a podcast on that Dragon's Den, baby, and he's going to be a special guest. Because when it come down to PC hardware, this motherfucker's a beast. Thank you for your input this morning. You put me on my toes, but I'm definitely hope you understand the explanation that I was going at. It was more aimed towards 4K and high graphic fidelity. Having all the bells and whistles plus a decent frame rate. That's difficult to do, man. Very difficult to do. Like the dudes I said in Players Unknown Battlegrounds. They got great rigs or decent rigs, and they're turning everything to low so there's no brush on the field. It takes away a lot of debris just so they can see the opponents and shoot their ass. This is why I definitely don't want to play on PC, because they're cheating. That's the only thing bad about PC. A guy with a game like that where about hiding and stealth means a lot, and the brush and the trees and everything mean a lot. As you start taking stuff off, those trees and things start disappearing, which leaves an open field for you to shoot somebody in the ass. But on the other end, that person who's playing at the medium range and high settings, those trees are there for them, which makes the game imbalanced. And for you Players Unknown Battleground fans, they are dropping those first person online servers, baby, which means you'll be able to play that game in total first person mode. You won't have to see the character and run around. You will be more like Rainbow Six Vegas, Halo, or Call of Duty or Battlefield first person, baby. Now, I hope y'all soak that up with a sponge. You know your boy Lemetius is always here to drop that knowledge, and always like and subscribe. I'm here for you. Any questions you ever got, ask me. I interact with everybody. I will never change. And Stone Fox Meathead, stop reporting that bad news. I got viewers telling me to go at your head. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pick and choose some things when I want to say. When you start lying, I'm going to start telling the truth. Or start telling more of the truth. To blasphemy you talk on your channel. Now you went from Xbox One X is the same thing as PlayStation 4 Pro, and in your yesterday video you say it's a monster. Man, make your goddamn mind up. Contradicting yourself. I know you be seeing me going at you on Twitter, baby. That's all I got for you today. Be back tomorrow. And I'm out, chill.